culture. I cut my way out podcast. Tune us in. We on the grind I put the clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. Yeah, I put the clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. I used to dream as a kid on the porch of the crib and make it big and one day endorse where I live.
And welcome back to another episode of the I Cut My Way Out podcast. Back again with another episode. I am at Kenneth Jinx on IG, at Kenneth Jinx 1 on IG, at Ken Jinx on Facebook. And I am joined by my brother, esteemed, gracious host, friend, brains and backbone of the podcast. Go ahead and give them your addies right quick.
All right. Ashra Knox on Facebook. Beard_culture_4 on Instagram. A_Knox the Barber 4 on Instagram as well. And our joint Instagram page at I Cut My Way Out _pod.
Yes, and on Twitter at I Cut My Way Out. So hit us up. We definitely our page is growing. Picked up another few subscribers this week, so thank you. We're everywhere where you can listen to podcasts, most notably YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, TuneIn, iHeart. We're just trying to get it out to everywhere. We got great content, great guests, and we have another wonderful guest. Appreciate him taking the time. But before we bring him in with the fire intro, how's your week been?
Man, it's been good. It's been good, productive, man. Got that second that second vaccine shot. It did us in a little bit, man. Had a little slight fever, but outside of that, I was good, man.
Yep, and I am fully vaccinated. Got my second one yesterday. I've been blessed that I haven't had any side effects. Maybe it's that sea moss, maybe it's that turmeric, maybe it's that ginger. I've been on it for about 3 months. I mean, maybe it was a flu shot in the fall. I don't know, but so far so good. I'm definitely gonna continue to wear a mask and try to social distance, but I made the decision to vaccinate, and so far so good. So I'm in 20 minutes, I'll be 24 hours in, but
that's what's up. Okay.
Yeah, and we got a dog. So if y'all hear some little chihuahua barking, we just got a dog yesterday. So hey, the week has been good.
A new addition to the family. Okay.
So again, we have a guest. And
absolutely.
Take it away. I mean, if you have anything else to add administratively, go ahead and get that off. No, but let's bring them in.
All good. Let's hop into
chop it up.
This week again, we have a very, very special guest coming to us by the way of Chicago, Illinois. This barber is skillful with his hands, offers a lot of knowledge and information on his Instagram page in terms of just the craft and all the services that he provides. Also a very inspirational brother. I'm reading a lot of his daily posts and things that he's just posting, providing just inspiration and motivation while he's going hard at his craft. Met him by the way of another barber. And so I am very, very interested to learn his story and find out more about what it is that he does as well. So with no further ado, we would like to bring to you Dajah Echols, tremendous barber out of Chicago, Illinois. Welcome, man. We're glad to have you.
Appreciate you back. I'm doing great, man. Today, man, it's real good, man. Yes, sir. How about yourself?
Man, I cannot complain, man. Doing great, man. Hanging in.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So first things first, Dajah. We spoke about us being vaccinated, and with the profession, you're on top of people, you're in touch with people. What are your feelings on the vaccination, just COVID in general? How is it kind of, I know it's impacted, but just explain what it's your thoughts on COVID and the vaccination.
I feel like that, people, of course it affected us all, you know what I mean? Like with the layoff and things like that, that was hard to deal with. And like with this barber industry, we are dealing with people every day, in and out. They dealing with people, their families, they at work, you know what I mean? So the spread is been like tremendous, you know what I'm saying? Like I actually caught it like in December. But I had no real illnesses, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then, with it being so, with just widespread, it made me want to get on top of it, just to go get checked on a regular, because we are in people's faces, you know what I'm saying? We are presenting with different services and things that way, so that nature. So I kind of just wanted to know. So I went, I think I went like the first week of December, got checked, and it came back positive. So, of course I was scared, you know what I mean? But I really didn't feel any symptoms, because I had started a cleanse that week. So I was flushing my system out, and I was eating well anyway, so I was eating salads and fruits and things of that nature. I got a lot of clients right now that's been getting vaccinated. I got a good professional based clientele. So I got a lot of police officers, teachers, things of that nature. So through their profession, they have to go get it.
Okay.
But I mean, I think just people should just protect themselves as much as possible. And then, if that's your choice to go get the vaccination, like, man, just, do your thing, go get it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's I actually caught it, man, early January. And it beat me down pretty bad, man. I was kind of on the other side. I've never taken a flu vaccination.
Yeah, me either.
And so at first I wasn't too big on it, man, but having extended family ended up passing it to not only my wife, but I have a 2-month-old grandson, man. And he was a month old at that time, passed it to his parents, passed it to him. So at that point in time, and just all that I went through in terms of the physical ailments, I decided to go ahead and get the vaccine. And actually we had dialogue last week on the podcast just about exactly what you said, whatever works for each individual. I'm not pressing anybody, nor am I downplaying or down talking anybody, man. Whatever works for you, do what works for you.
Yeah, I actually lost a client. It was more than a client, it was my friend, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like during the first wave. And it was hard, man, because I seen this dude every week. I've been cutting his son is 20 years old now. So I've been cutting his son since he was like 6, 7, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And I had to actually line him up for his funeral. Like that was one of the toughest things, man. Like mentally, it was just, I almost walked out of there. I'm like, damn, this was tough.
Wow.
Real tough.
Wow. Well, condolences. Sorry to hear that, my brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man.
So,
let's move on to
get rocking and rolling, right?
Don't
want those somber notes, man.
Oh no.
So as we go in for a lot of our listeners, they'll look at the Instagram name and they'll look at it just as we did. We talked about it. So just tell the listeners as we jump into this how to pronounce your name.
My name is Dajah. They can find me on Facebook at Dajah Echols, or they can find me on Instagram at Dajah Echols Grooming. So it's DAJAHECHOLS Grooming.
Absolutely. That's what's up. Okay. So for all the listeners. Okay. So man, as we jump in here, man, I'm interested, your story and to find out, man. Tell us a little bit about who Dajah is, just as a person, as a professional, and a little bit about where you're from and your background.
From Chicago, Illinois, south side of Chicago.
Okay.
Before anything, I'm a dad. I got three little ones.
Okay.
So pretty much, like I said, I grew up on the south side of Chicago.
Okay.
Grew up playing baseball, and that would let me, we had that in common, going to Pine Bluff.
Okay.
That's what led me going to Pine Bluff.
Really?
And so I grew up always being like infatuated with the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? I stayed in the barbershop. Either I had a haircut one week, or I had got a liner, you know what I mean? So I just stayed in the barbershop, and I was just always infatuated with it. And A few other things. Where can I go?
So what area on the south side are you from?
I'm from the south side, from the Roseland community.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from the Roseland community. That's around like 130, the 130 Wentworth area.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that area.
Yeah, we're familiar. We used to go to 113th of Michigan all the time to get
go
to get fresh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's changed over there now, man. It's
Right.
dead over there now, man. That thing used to be packed over there.
Right.
Yeah.
So totally different, huh?
Yeah, it's totally different.
Okay.
But a little bit more about myself. Like I said, I'm from the south side of Chicago. Grew up playing baseball, infatuated with cutting hair. Just by going to visit different barbershops and things of that nature. Right. And I just always been infatuated with it. And I grew up drawing, so I just knew that was one day kind of be, that would be like a lane I wanted to go into.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at what point was your first experience actually putting the clippers in your hand?
Messing up my guys in the neighborhood, like
really?
Borrow my stepfather's them old walls. So they ain't they was cutting your hair and lining you with the same clippers,
right.
You know what I mean? So right. Just using them and messed up a few of my guys.
Okay. At what age where did you start?
Probably was about like 14, just 14, just trying it out. You know what I mean? I wasn't really taking it serious back then.
Okay.
But I was just pick them up, just trying something. Yeah.
Okay.
So Dajah, I'm not a barber. I say that on every episode when we talk to barbers. So I want to make sure that that's known. So when you say mess up your guy's hair, like messing up to a barber is different than messed up to a non-barber. So are you saying that loosely, or did you really mess up?
I messed them up. You don't know what you're doing, and you don't know what guard to use and how low it's gonna cut it down. You gonna butcher them.
Right.
So yeah. mess up means embarrassed to go out or can't go out.
Yeah,
without
embarrassed to go out. They
probably
gotta wear a hat or probably go to another barber so they can fix it.
Right.
Okay.
So trial and error is how it's
trial and error.
Right. So for those who don't know, when he mentioned UAPB, University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, that is an HBCU for those that don't know. You graduated from there, right?
Yes, sir.
With a degree, you said in finance. I attended the same HBCU years before that. So going there, you played baseball. Were you on scholarship there?
Yeah, I was there on scholarship. I actually transferred in from Rush College. I went to Rush College first.
Okay.
And then a lot of my guys from the city that I either played with or against, they was at Pine Bluff, and I went down there and did a pretty good job against them. Okay. So my guys told the coach about me, and I transferred in.
Okay. Yeah. Now what position, if we can ask?
Well, Pine Bluff, they got me in at a pitch.
Okay.
I was a pitcher.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's up.
Okay, so let's back up because we're sports guys. What high school did you go to? Because I know Chicago is a high school basketball city, and right. Of course you're in the hundreds. So let's go all the way back. So when did you first start playing baseball? Like, were you like Little League, Jackie Robinson, or?
It was Pony League. I think I was like 13.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I had a few other of my guys. They came up through JRW. Familiar with them?
Yeah,
JRW.
Okay.
And my uncles, all them played ball. They was real good pitchers and stuff like that. So they always showed me like little tricks of the sport and things like that. And one of their friends had a team. One of their friends, he was a coach and had a team. So I just started playing for him. Okay. And that's how I got started. Now I was terrible when I started. I ain't gonna lie. I was scared of that ball. You know what I mean? People get hit with that ball. But as I gradually just kept playing, I got a lot better.
And so now piggybacking off that, so like I said, like on the outside looking in, like I mean, it just seemed like basketball is the top thing in Chicago, and baseball. I mean, I know they're like Simeon and a few public schools. What high school did you go to?
I went to Thornwood.
So Thornwood, okay.
Yeah.
So they have a rich tradition. Yeah, Cliff Floyd.
Cliff Floyd came out of there.
Yeah, so they do have a rich baseball
Mark
tradition.
Mulder, he pitched for the A's for a while. Yeah.
Okay, so you put it to the test. You went to a school where you can get it in. Okay.
Definitely went out there and learned a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's up. So that also speaks in terms of that hand-eye coordination that's used as a barber as well.
I was just had a conversation there with one of my guys. I said, you know, sometimes I be in a barbershop. I don't know. It's weird to me. I could just see something about to fall and I could just grab it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like fast. You know what I mean? Just that hand. I'll be like, damn, like a magician or something.
That's what's
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
That hand-eye coordination. So once you finished up at Pine Bluff, you graduated, you got your degree in finance.
Mhm.
What were your next steps?
Man, I was lost.
Yeah.
I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I knew I didn't want a job. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, when you graduating from college and things of that nature, and you got family telling you you know you should do this and do that. But my passion just always been, you know, working for myself. And you know, I don't like authority. You know what I mean? I don't like someone to tell me when I could check in, when I could leave, when I can go to lunch. I just like my freedom.
Absolutely.
So I just went back to what I knew. You know, I was doing it in college too, so I didn't have to.
Okay.
I didn't have to call home as much to ask for money. You know what I mean? You from Chicago, okay. when you from the Midwest and things like that, you have like a different nature, different like a swag about you. You know what I mean? So people they'll come get their haircut based off where you tell them where you at,
right?
where you from. I mean, yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah,
and yeah, when I was on the yard, Chicago, just name it rang bells because there were a lot of students from Chicago that came on the yard. So yeah. So once you got back, you figured, okay, you know, you're not necessarily trying to fall in line with corporate America. So what was the next step? Did you right off the rip? Did you go to Barber College, or did you just start cutting a little bit and then decided?
Well, I'm gonna take you back a little bit. So I actually first went to Barber Scene. I went to Cane's first.
Okay.
When I was 8, I was like 19.
Over by Hyde Park, right?
On 51st, yeah, 51st and King Drive.
Okay. One of my buddies lived over there on 51st, 52nd and Drexel. Tiba lived over that James.
Yeah, that's right there. Yeah, that's right there.
Yeah.
Like I'll take you back a little bit. Like when I was in high school, I wasn't the best student. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't take an ACT, SAT, none of that. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. Okay. So I eventually got into junior college, which is Olive Harvey. Okay. And I was doing a little hustling and stuff like that. Okay. And it was getting a little hot in my area. So I called my cousin, and I told him, I said, man, you know, we gotta switch it up. We gotta do something different. He was like, man, man, let me know what it is, what you want to do. Right. So at the time, you know, I ain't have a cell phone, pay phone. Right. So I thought about it for a second. Like I said, I was always infatuated with the barbershop. I'm like, man, I wanna cut hair. So he was like, man, let's do it. He's like, let's do it. And we went and signed up. And at that point I got to like 1,300 hours. And I was paying out of my pocket. I thought I was going to receive financial aid and all that type of stuff. They denied me for all that, so I was paying out of my pocket. Okay. And it was a little discouraging. I ain't gonna lie, because at such a young age, it was expensive for me right then and there. Right. But I still was doing a little, I was still doing like a little street hustle and stuff like that. Right. And I got into it. It was like a situation that could have went very bad. Okay. And I don't know if it was just God, but this coach had called me. The Russ College coach called me, and he was like, man, he's like, how your situation is in Chicago? I'm like, man, it's rough right now. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty bad. Right. So he was like, man, you want to play baseball? I'm like, I'm gone. Right. No, I'm like, say less. Right. So when it was time for me to sign up, I sent them all my paperwork, and I got up out of here, man. I went and played ball. That's what's up. So when I graduated from UAPB, which is in 2010. Okay. When I graduated in 2010, I didn't want to be in a shop without the license. Okay. So I tried to go to another school. I tried to go back to Cane's to see if I can get my hours, and they was closed down. So which meant I had to start all the way over. Right. So I tried a few schools, but me, I'm coming back. I'm fresh from college. I don't have no money like that. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to build my clientele up. I tried going to one of my old teachers, Mr. Durham. He owned Chizap Barber College. So I tried to go there, but I kept dropping out. I kept kept going, not finishing, and things of that nature. Right. And it was one barber I heard. His name is iCut Pro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I heard him say, he said, Barbers. He said, if the state board came into your barbershop right now, what would you do? And it just rung a bell. I'm like, dang.
So you were actually cutting at that time?
Yeah, I was cutting.
But you didn't have a
at
license.
that time.
Okay.
I didn't have a license, you know.
Okay.
So I heard him say that. And I just been getting this feeling like I got to get back in school. I got to finish this. You know what I mean? Like that's just one thing that was just irking me. Like I didn't complete.
Right.
So I got myself together and I went to Chicoshi. I graduated. I think I'm coming up on my 3rd year. And it's crazy, you know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Congratulations.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I think that's one of the, you know, besides, you know, getting my degree and my kids, like that's one of the best things, you know, that I completed.
That's a hell of an accomplishment. It feels good, don't it?
Man, it feels great, man. You ain't got to run.
Right. For real. Yes, sir.
Hey, chair.
And also before we get too far out, because I mentioned a barber friend that put us in contact, but shout out to Stacy Wheeler.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah. She was our first guest. Man, holds us down, man, and is extremely supportive. So I want to make sure I'll shout her out. Because she put us in contact, man. She raved about your skill set, and she knows that, hey, you know, if you're looking for barbers, and she hit me, and I'm like, of course. So she gave me your name, put us in contact, man. So I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, so after you finished that up, did you remain in the same shop you were cutting at, or did you end up going to another shop?
Well, I went to another shop. I went to, because I was in school and I was nervous about the, you know, the state coming back in the shop. I needed a more private location while I was in school. I was finishing up. Okay. So I found it through my teacher. His name is Mr. Darnell. Definitely shout out to Mr. Darnell.
Okay. That's what's up.
He put me in the position that with a lady with a loctician. She had a shop, but she had a back room that she wasn't using. And it was big enough for me to, you know, just to go in there and do my thing. And then so I got situated and finished school and stuff like that. Okay. So once I completed that, and you know, I wanted to, you know, just expand a little bit. I went into a salon suite, which is Soul Salon, which I have now. Okay, so
that's where you're at now?
Yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Okay. I believe they have one of those Jinx here, don't they?
It's a chain of they all over. Those salon suites are like taking over, man.
Yep. And so I don't know if you know, but we're located in Champaign.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you cut out of a salon suite, or do you have a shop? Or?
So actually, I was in a shop, but I've always, my last 2 homes had a shop built off of the garage area. So once COVID hit, the barbershop situation ended up going left. Everybody kind of did their own thing. And so I ended up coming back home to my shop at home. Yeah. So it's kind of built up like that suite type thing, just enough for one chair and for me to do my thing. And, you know, and there's a lot of, there's some pros and cons, but I like having that space and, you know, just kind of being in my own space sometimes.
It's more protective now. I mean, I think it was perfect timing as far as me going into the salon space. It was like, you know, we didn't have to put up a partition and, you know, separate this client, this barber from this barber. Right. And it was just, I think it's just more so of the comfort and the safety of the client now. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just all flow, you know, just all flow.
Right. Yeah. And that's how I felt going back in. Like I just had more control of the situation in terms of the safety and sanitation just of my client. So that was big. Yeah, that was real big. Yeah.
So I have a couple of questions just in listening to, you know, your journey to get your license. We've definitely had some conversations. Not too many people have fought back, but for somebody that has struggled, had to make a living while not having license, and ultimately getting your license, what is your overall view, if you've ever thought about it, on your industry and having license? Is it something that you think that is needed, or is it just feeling is because the law says I have to have it, that I had to get it, or just what is your overall feeling on license?
Well, to me, it's a certain thing. It's not just about cutting hair. So you got to remind, like, if you go back to the history of the barber, you know, they was pulling teeth, they was bloodletting and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So when you actually go into the school, you know, as far as cutting hair, you're gonna get most of your experience once you get outside of the school.
Right.
So when you in that school, that clinical floor is important. You know what I mean? Right. So when I went, we didn't touch any clippers. We went straight to the classroom, and that's where we stayed at. You know, when it was our time to get on the floor, that's when we went. So that, for me, that school it sets the foundation. You know what I mean? Of like everything that you need to know about the skin, because people just see haircut, get out the chair, and you're gone. But if you don't know the proper techniques to do a facial, for example, or know what type of skin that you're dealing with, or know not to put this box shaver here or there, you know what I mean? Because barbers cause so many problems that we don't even recognize, you know what I mean? Just by not being knowledgeable. All right. So that the barber school is, I think is needed. Now it's so many dope barbers out here. You can go find you a mentor and, you know, pick up, you know, certain skills and things like that as you go along. That's not, you know what I mean? I think we get so focused on just trying to be the dopest barber, you know what I mean? Instead of actually finding out what's going on in a clinical way, you know what I mean? Like looking at it, because we prescribe so many different things to our clients, just like a doctor do. Right. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So the second question, you know, we're getting ready to celebrate, you know, throughout this episode, you and your journey and your, you know, ascension. I'm not even gonna say peak, but just kind of in a few words, just talk about that just what you went through trying to make your ends meet and still get the license and just that process of being in school and just that struggle, because that barber that, you know, is basically has that obstacle like you had, but you know, you was able, like, let's talk about how tough it was. You know, that's basically the question I want.
Yeah, it definitely was tough. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, I was going to night school. When I went back to school, I was going to night school. So I would have to cut at a certain period. You know, I have to cut from, just say, 8 in the morning to 3, 2 o'clock. You know, such things like that, just so I can make it to school on time. So I can't get everybody in when they want to get in. Or after class, you know, I didn't cut hair before school. I went to school, and then I got to come back and maybe cut a few more people. You know, it was tiring, it was frustrating. I was losing money. It was a few situations that, and I mean, it's this lady. She was over the school. They looked out for me so much. It was a point in time that I thought I wasn't going to be able to finish school because of the funding. So it was hard, but man, you got to make an adjustment, man. You know, what's for you is going to be for you regardless. Like, whatever situation that you're going through, like, you got to just keep going. And the money aspect, when you're done with the license and you put your time in, like, it's the money there.
Absolutely.
As long as you don't lose your passion while you're going through the school process and still trying to make your money, whatever you're going through, man, like, you got to just keep going. Absolutely. That's all you got to do. The money, if your clients are your clients, they're going to understand and they're going to appreciate you more for what you're doing, because, man, my barber got his license. You know what I'm saying? He don't got to leave me in a chair and run out the back door or go to the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? He ain't got to do all that. So, yeah.
Right. And not only that, from a professional standpoint, like you said, giving advice, knowing what's needed, what's not needed, how to pursue certain things, and you know, based on your knowledge that you've gained from getting that. And it's so much bigger than license. And a lot of people don't understand, like you said, you know, too many times, you know, they focus on being just the dopest barber. But for me, and I think it comes with time, just people in general, you start to respect that more. I want to get in somebody's chair who's knowledgeable, who can give that advice, knows their craft, be professional, hold a good conversation. You know, I don't just want the you know, get me in, get me out, the rawest haircut. You know, I want a little bit of it all. I want a quality haircut without a doubt, but I also want the other things that come with that professional side.
Exactly. So that and that's what I was just thinking about as well, as far as, like, you know, you cutting hair, but it's not just a hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was a point in time where my mentality was, okay, I'm just cutting hair, whatever. But now, when I'm going into that bank or I'm trying to go get a business account or I got to register this LLC, how you moving in a whole different manner. You know what I mean? Your clippers and stuff. You know, you got to move. You can't just move as a barber. You know what I mean? It's different. It's different. It's different avenues to this thing. You know, product retail. You know, filing your taxes. You know what I'm saying? Or paying yourself. And you know what I mean? It's like things that you said that professional moving in a professional manner.
Right. Absolutely. So, being in Chicago, Chicago is big city, great city. You know, I know it takes a lot of hits for all the violence, but you know, it's also a beautiful place as well. It's some, you know, there's a lot of things to do. So in terms of, you know, just the barbering industry and the culture, right? How would you describe the barber scene? Is it? I know it's a lot of competition, but is there camaraderie? Is there support between the barbers, just as a whole, or is it kind of every man for themselves? What's the barber scene like?
The barber scene, I could just speak from my personal, my personal situations, but man, it's been love. Like from the older barbers that's in better situations or better positions.
Right.
One in particular, like Charles, his name is Chuck, but on Instagram I think it's Who's Your Barber.
Okay.
Man, he helped me out a lot. You know what I mean? Just a lot of game. You know, since the first day I met him, just nothing but support. And then like when you go to these, like you said, the competition, when you go to different barber battles and things like that, it just meet different barbers and had discussion with these people. Like they help you out a lot. You know what I mean? Like, the competition is on the stage. You know, they competing for them trophies and that spotlight. But outside, outside the guys that's judging and people that's in them different positions or people with the tables, selling their merchandise, man, you can learn a lot of stuff.
Right. So for
me personally, it's been great because like the people that I have reached out to, they took me in. It was a great mentor for me.
Okay, that's what's up. So with there being so many barbers available to the public, in terms from a marketing standpoint, how do you set yourself apart? Like I've seen some things on your Instagram that I really liked, and I'll speak on them. But how do you set yourself apart in terms of your marketing?
I try to market to find a problem. You know what I mean? Okay. So we have the solution. You know what I mean? Okay. You got the services. You know what I mean? So I try to just give out as much information that I can, so it'll reach the right person. You know what I mean? So I want to act like I'm talking to a specific person. So if they have a problem like that, you know what I mean? I try to give them as much information as I can. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not it's way easier now. You don't have to stand on the red line of train handing out cards like that. You know what I mean? Like you reaching more people with just one
Absolutely.
post.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so with that, I just try to share as much information I can and just keep it consistent. You know what I mean? Like when you post 1 week and then you post 2 months later, that's just not going to, the consistency has to be there.
Right.
Yeah. And then like just, when people comment, like you comment back, like, show them that it's real.
Absolutely.
Build their relationship.
Right. And that camaraderie is, for me, man, I went to, in 2019, I've been cutting hair. I got my license in 99, 2000, or maybe 2001. I went to school in 99. And so it was just kind of a back and forth, I worked in the public school system. I coached, and so I did it part-time. I always had a passion for it, but I did it part-time because I never seen anybody in front of me that just seemed that they made a living and things were just, everything was good, right? One of my best friends, he was super cold, but, at that time we were younger and, before his passing, he just hadn't got the professional side of it yet, but was super cold with the clippers. So me going to Barber Brothers, I kind of threw everything to the side. 2019 just went full throttle. Went to Barber Brothers, man, and it just, even being a little older, man, it just changed my whole perception of the industry and just put a battery in my back that just had me going full throttle ever since, man. And that camaraderie and watching just the brotherhood and sisterhood of all the barbers, that was something that spoke volumes to me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to them shows, man, they share a lot of information.
Yeah.
But you can't just get focused on that stage and the hoorah, the the lights and the glitz and the glint. You know what I mean? You can't get caught. But like it's some guys in there. I want to sit me in the class, sit me and some of those guys, the Kenny Duncans that's coming in here to teach the Moranos, and I want to be in that. When you telling me you making what you make, how are you doing that?
Right, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the funny thing for me. I never, since then I've been to a couple. I really never fell into the competitions as much as like the classes and just making connections, just networking, because for me, that's where a lot of knowledge and just learning and just kind of rubbing elbows, man, that's been extremely important. So I can't wait till this thing opens back up. To be able to get out there and really, really rub some elbows. Because as we've started this platform as well, it's been right in the middle of the pandemic. And so a lot of times when you're reaching out to people don't know your angle. They haven't met you personally. If you're not coming recommended from somebody else, they don't know what the angle is. And so being able to really get out there and show you how genuine and how serious you are about the craft and trying to do something positive for the culture. Is extremely important, man. So yeah. Also, I just watched you, and just to piggyback off your answer, what impressed me about you is not just the skill, but the plethora of services that you offer. And that's how I could tell, in my opinion, that the whole education side was important to you, and that you have learned. Because for me, when I went, wasn't as much, you're talking about 20 years ago. So the facials and things weren't as popular for men. So now all these services that allow us to stretch our income, have hit the table. And so trying to learn more. And so I'm watching and learning from other people. And so, just the terminology that you use in a lot of your posts and everything, I'll say, this brother ain't just cutting hair. He's a professional barber. He's doing it professionally.
And
doing
before,
his thing.
yeah, because because when we were gonna do the show, he doesn't even have barber in the bio. It's professional groomer. It's like all his other services. So that kind of jumped out to me, Day. I was like, of course, when you go down the page, you are definitely that you're definitely a barber, but just when you
appreciate y'all.
And then artists,
Yes,
you said, I think you put artists in there, and it was just like, so what went into just when you describe yourself as in your bio, like artist or groomer, like you really was trying to be broad with everything that you do?
Tricoci. It changed my perspective of everything. You know what I mean? Like, we had to wear a bow tie. Everything had to be uniform. I had to wear all black. When I was able to get on the floor, they took sales serious. You had to, you had to have a certain amount of sales on your, on your sign-offs.
Okay.
So you had to upsell people. You had to look. You had to analyze like the scalp, the skin, see what they was looking at. I learned about the T-zone and stuff I never heard before. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we had to do facials.
Okay.
We had to do scalp treatments. I did hair coloring, cut women's hair, all bobs, everything.
Right.
So it changed my. I think it reshaped my career. You know what I mean? And it was a fresh start for me. So I needed to start over.
That's
you know what I mean? Because what I thought what I was doing was, it wasn't nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I really didn't know nothing.
Right.
So when I went to Tricoci, it just helped change everything. We was on the clinic. They say clinical floors. There's certain words that you use. It's the literature. You know what I mean? That went into what we. It put in a more perspective manner when you're dealing with clients.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm grateful for that school.
Yeah, that professionalism is everything too. And I think in terms of the question I asked, for me, when I looked at how you market yourself and how you set yourself apart, first thing I could tell just by your post is the professionalism of it all. Outside the cuts that you're posting, the motivational quotes and the services. I'm like, yeah, he getting it in. And that's why I started to look. And I didn't know if you were in a shop or if you were in your suite. I kind of started to think you were in your own little personal space, but I wasn't for sure. So that was one of the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with all of the services and just kind of go over a few of them. I'm just curious in terms of your pricing with some of those services as well.
Yeah.
So outside just the basic haircut, what other services do you provide? And was that strategic in terms of being able to increase your value?
Okay, just for example, looking at you. If you came and got a haircut,
right,
why, knowing that you're wearing a mask every day because of the COVID, so
right,
you know wearing that mask is gonna cause split ends.
right,
That mask make your facial hair, it's gonna make it dry.
right.
So why wouldn't I offer you a beard treatment? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why wouldn't I service the beard too? Because guys with beards, we can't get down to that layer of skin to where we can fully clean it how we want to. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So it has changed the pricing. It has allowed me to not cut as many heads, because if I could cut your hair, I do a beard treatment, and you got to go home with a product. You know what I mean? So wow, that's three. That's three. You ain't just come get your haircut. You left with a service. I upsold you with a service,
right,
and the retail product.
Yes, sir.
Why would I let you out my chair to go to why would you go to a beauty supply store and I got it right here? I'm gonna be asking you certain questions like, what do you use? What do you use on a day-to-day basis? You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to put the emphasis on it. What you use?
Right.
Oh man,
right.
You use nothing.
Right.
Well, if you don't use nothing, if you don't take care of the beard, if you don't do this, you don't moisturize on the daily, this can happen.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Cause some fear a little bit.
Absolutely. Right.
So it takes you away from slaving and standing behind the chair so much. And you enjoy doing these services, because people give you testimonies. Oh man, my beard had never felt like this before. Oh yeah, that oil that you recommended or that beard butter. Oh yeah, man.
Right.
I've been seeing the growth from it. Yeah.
Right. So with that, how much would you charge? So if you do the haircut, you do the beard treatment, how much?
So a haircut is $45, beard treatment is $30, and the beard product that I carry, the oil and the butter is $8. So you're looking at, you know what I mean? You're looking at, what is that, $53 or something like that? Maybe that's a little bit more. No, that's $83. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and that's just one person.
Absolutely.
You can do all that within 1 hour, because the beard treatment or the beard service that I just offered you, man, I'm already applying the hot towel to you. So the only thing I need to do is just apply a little bit of steam and the actual beard foam that I'm using to use to clean your beard.
Right.
And maybe just a little bit of beard, just different beard massages and things like that.
Right.
But it's gonna take you an hour to make $83 versus cutting for this, cutting two people, trying to squeeze two people in within an hour. No, why I gotta put that much pressure on myself?
Absolutely. Yeah. and that's what you find, and over time, I said, man, and getting to that more and more, where, stretching that time out, because I look at a client, that's a personal relationship. You got some barbers that look at clients as a dollar sign.
Yeah.
But this is a service I'm providing, and I want it to be an experience with the people that, are sitting in my chair, and it means a lot.
So that's the separation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you do appointment only?
Yeah, I'm appointment only. I use an appointment app. It just helped me keep control. I'm big on time, man.
Okay.
It's something you can't get back. So I try to keep people on, the time schedule. I work 3 days out the week right now. I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Really?
But I wanted to do it that way because I have my kids on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and I was cutting Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I had no time to do anything else. So, to go into like the burnout.
Man, I was just going to ask that question.
I was getting burnt out because I started feeling like I was slaving, you know what I mean? And I wasn't paying attention to my Instagram, my marketing, things like that.
Right,
because by the time I get home, with no days off, you tired, you know what I mean? So I started using my Tuesdays to promote more of the services.
Okay.
And to just to study, just to keep studying the services, and then just to clean up the shop, you know what I mean? Just do things like that, you know what I mean? And it helped me get my energy back into the game.
Okay.
That helped out a lot.
Okay. So with you cutting it down, And you said Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yeah.
So
I cut from 7 to 7.
That's what's up. So in terms with all the services you offer, were you able to balance out? Did you lose any money on the back end, or have you actually increased in terms of value?
It's crazy that you said that. So I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, it's people hitting me up like, man, I can't get in. So with me doing that, the demand is more. All right, I bet you want me to come in on Tuesday? Now you got to pay me more. You understand what I'm saying? So I cut off a day, which I was only working from 10 to like 3. So just taking those few hours away, the demand and even new clients reaching out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you want to come in on that Tuesday, if you want some of that time, man, you got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. You got to pay for that time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But that Tuesday allowed me to focus back on my content, like the content creation.
Okay.
I was lacking in that. I was lacking in it because I didn't have the time to do it as much as I needed to. It's
like a full-time damn job, man.
It is, man. It's your business. You are a true business.
Yeah. That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's
a lot. You done put a couple things on my brain to because you said,
you have to if you're not creating that content, and even just if you film one haircut, you get you a tripod and set it up. You film one haircut, you can make 6 videos off that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm gonna start with the lining. Well, no, I'm gonna cut it down. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. I'm gonna do the tape. I'm gonna set the base for the taper. Okay, now I did that. That's 2 videos.
Right.
Now I'm doing the lining. That's 3 videos.
Right.
Now I'm gonna put this hot towel on you. That's 4.
Right.
The finishing product. I'm showing you. You know what I mean? So that's 5, 6 videos right there within just one haircut.
Right. Stretching it out.
Stretch it out, but you're sharing different information or different motivational quotes every time you do it.
That's what's up. So with your services, how often do you increase your prices, and how and when do you know to increase your prices?
I'm always like searching for something to add on. You know what I mean? So I'm always trying to add value to the service.
Right.
So if I can put it on your brain, if I can sell it to my clients, and I'm gonna do this, plus you're gonna get this.
Right.
Like it's gonna cost a little bit more. So it just depends on what I add to what I provide. So what I provide for them. You know what I mean? So you gotta be able to give them options too, because I don't really want to, I don't want to let all the money walk out the door. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a service and a price point for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's how I know how to go up on the prices based off of the additions that I add to the service.
Now, does any of that include what other barbers in the area? Like, do you try to keep it? You just your value.
I focus on me, what I got going on, like what they charge and how they move. So that's why people be like, I can't see myself paying $100. Well, how do you never been to $100 barber? You don't know what he's offering.
Right, absolutely.
You might go in there.
Hey, and I don't mean to cut you off. Hey, that was a hell of a jewel right there.
Yeah, you don't know, because like I said, if I use Chuck for example, you're gonna go in there, man, show up 10 minutes early. You're gonna put a massage vest on. You're gonna get a massage. You might pour up a little something, and
right.
While you doing that and enjoying your massage, he over here sanitizing the station. So it's what you provide for him and the environment that he's in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because we stay in a smaller town. I don't know if you ever been to Champaign.
Yeah, I've been through there.
Okay, cool. And that's my thing, man. And not knocking anybody, but you just learning over this time with barbering, you got to know your own value. And I've heard a couple barbers say, man, I want to sit down and meet with the other barbers so we're on the same page. So if I charge this, they can't go there. And I'm like, look, man, for me personally, I know what I bring to the table. I'm a professional licensed barber. I know the quality I bring, and I know my value. No disrespect to none of the brothers or sisters cutting hair here, but I'm not willing to sit down with anybody else to dictate what I'm going to charge. If you don't want to come here, there's always other places you can go get your hair cut.
How can you dictate somebody else's livelihood? He may have 5 kids. He may have 1.
Absolutely.
So what he charges may not cover what
Right.
It may not cover what his livelihood is.
Right. On top of the services and just the experience as a whole. And it was interesting because when I was at Bronner Brothers, man, we use of Barber. So I was in his class and he was talking about premium pricing. And I'm like, for me, I stay in a smaller area. How can you continue to charge premium prices when it's a different economy, it's a different demographic, so on and so forth? And he was like, look, man, people pay for what they want to pay for. Bottom line. And that's the first time I'd ever heard it, and it hit me. Because I think about all these cats. When Jordans are dropped, they're no cheaper in Champaign than they are in Chicago.
Yeah.
If you want them, you go get them.
Yeah.
So based on my value and what I bring to the table, and that was a valuable jewel. And shout out to Yusuf, because I never looked at it like that, man.
Yeah. Or even just going to the club. How much are people going to buy a section for?
Right.
Or how much you can go to the liquor store and get you a $30 bottle of Hennessy. But you're gonna go to the club and they're gonna charge you $250. But you gotta come see me before you go to the club.
Bottom line.
So you telling me your one night experience gonna outlast my haircut?
Right.
Come on, man.
So
that's common sense.
You ain't even get ready to fall through the club if you don't come to see me.
You ain't come to see me. You don't even want to go home with your girl almost. You know what I'm saying? We bring so much security to guys. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You're right.
How many times you heard somebody say, "Man, I ain't even want to come out. I ain't even want to go out tonight, man."
Right. For real.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah. So and that's the jewel, man. Knowing your worth, and that speaks volumes, man. Man, for real. So with all the services that you provide, and Jinx, jump in whenever you want. Jinx.
Oh, this barber talk. I got to sit this out.
How do you what do you do to stay abreast of your services and just being able to add those new services? Is it barber shows? Is it is it Instagram? How do you go about staying abreast of just that educational side?
Well, I'm always in the My Lady book. I'm always in that. So it's a lot of stuff in there. It's a lot of stuff in there that that you just can't just cover. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff that I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I see something, I follow a lot of people. I follow a lot of barbers that kind of like provide the same services that I do.
Okay.
What I mean is, I don't have no issues with people that does what do you call it? The units.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no issue with that, because it's a barber, it's a a service for everybody.
Right.
But for me,
right,
I'm focused on the skin, so I'm focused on the presentation after a week later after you done had your haircut, you know what I mean? So if I could stay within my lane,
right,
my integrity of the services that I provide, like that, I try to go towards those things.
Okay. So have you ever did any workshops or anything? iCut Pro?
I signed up for his. He had a online academy. I did that for a couple months, but what got me into offers and you all familiar with Morano?
I'm not.
Morano is he teaches the advanced barbering. So I don't want to say nothing that I don't know, but him and
Morano. Is Morano on IG? Is he on Instagram?
Yeah, Morano. Yep.
Okay. When you get a chance, when we get off, shoot that information to me.
I got you.
Okay.
So him and iCut Pro, they offer more sort of same services.
Okay.
Like it's very, very, very familiar. You know what I mean? With the service that they provide. So I actually went to DC and stayed out there for like 3 days and took the advanced barber systems classes.
Okay.
So I had to invest in it, man.
I was going to say investing in your craft.
Changed my mindset. It just took me to another level as well. You got to spend money on education. A lot of people think when they finish school, it ain't over with. So as I said, the more I invest back into my services and just the things that I offer, you got to pay for that education.
Yeah.
You can't expect nobody to just give it to you. You know what I mean? Like you got to with these guys.
Right. And at the end of the day, you know, new things are steady, you know, breaking ground, and you just have to stay abreast to what's going on in the industry.
Yeah. It's so much, man. This is I think it's over $100 billion or some dollar industry. It's
right.
The numbers it's ridiculous.
It's some money. It's some money out here, boy.
It's some money being made somewhere.
Yeah. So just kind of going back from, you know, with the whole degree, did your family ever question, you know, you went and got a 4-year degree in finance and you're pursuing barbering? Was there ever any kind of kickback, you know, from that?
You know, your mom always want to see you do. She always want to see you be the best that you could be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she always leaned towards me. You know, going to get a job or going to do this because it was a for sure thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, your mamas be worried about their kids, man.
Right.
This hiring, you know, she's sending me this application or telling me this person hiring, looking for security. But you know, I had to. She pretty much know like this is me. Entrepreneur is some, you know, that's me all day long. Right. But when I first chose to go to barber school, I definitely heard it. What barber you know do this? What barber you know you do that? Now you look in the industry, you know.
Woo! Yeah,
it's a big, you know, over $100 billion industry.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. I left a situation, man, where in corporate I was making decent little piece of change and jumped out here and nothing stopped. You know what I mean? It just continued to elevate, you know, and I'm going to keep pushing and betting on myself. And that's the beauty of the industry. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've said the last few Jinx, the last few episodes we had, you know, it's kind of like hip hop back in the day. You know, the MC got all the attention, but now, you know, you can talk about producers and they're just as popular and famous as the rappers are. That's where we are today. You know, Barbers out here stunting and getting their due. Because like you said, we affect every aspect of life pretty much. Yeah. You know, this barbering is a culture, man. It's a culture in and of itself, and it plays into so many other aspects and cultures. You know what I mean?
It's everything. Hip hop, the sneaker game, clothes. Yep. They look at the barbers was the freshest guys. You know, you go in the barber shop, they was fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're sitting at in a boardroom, at a meeting table, man, we service all walks of life. You know? Like you said, you got if you're trying to get up with a girl, whatever you do, you got to come and see us first. We are now the plug. Yeah, you coming through us,
man. When I went to took the Morano class, he told me something. It was crazy, and he's one of the reasons why I did the salon suite as well. He said because the things that you learning, you know, other barbers in the shop, their clients are gonna be looking at you. You think that's not gonna cause some type of feud or because they're gonna be wondering like, damn, why he not doing this? Why my barber not doing what he doing? So that was one thing that he told me. But he said, man, like when I go to the Wizards game or something like that, you know, because he's in DC, he said, man, I make sure I sit on the floor because I'm an influence too. You know what I'm saying? They want to know I'm wearing that smelling good, I'm looking good. Yeah, I'm a groomer. You know what I mean? I'm not just about a groomer. So, man, we touch so many different people. You know what I mean? He's like, I want to be right down there with them. I'm right there.
Right.
I'm one of them guys. You know?
Right. You got to see me too.
Yeah, you got to see me.
Wow. That's what's up. So with this barbering, and it's always great. One thing you mentioned is just that burnout and how you went to some different hours or different days of service. And I know my guy Jinx, this will be his avenue too, man, because he loves Chicago with a passion.
Yes, sir.
So just outside of barbering, the city has so many great things to do. What other things do you know, during your time off outside of your kids, what do you just enjoy doing that the city has to offer?
Like you said, Chicago has so much culture. I just really I like right now I'm in the I think I'm in the Bucktown area right now. Like it's just so much. I just like seeing the people, you know what I mean? Like the different arts and things like that, the different attire that people, you know, the clothes and stuff that people wearing. And you know what I mean? You can be in, like I said, you can be in Bucktown and you think you're somewhere else, just the culture of the, you know, of the other city, of that part of the city. So I just really just like being just out and about, you know what I mean? Like going to smoke a good cigar and just, you know
That's
what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
And just network. So that's what I enjoy doing. It's just the network. So Chicago has so many different opportunities. You can go out, you can go outside and just be in the right place at the right time. Somebody asks you what you do. Like, what do you do?
Right.
I mean, just nice conversation for real.
That's what's up.
Networking people, you can meet somebody that can put you in a position that you never thought you'd be in.
Right. No doubt.
So you live in Bucktown, your shop is in
No,
Bucktown?
I gave an example like to where I'm at right now.
Okay, because my wife is from Humboldt Park, so that's not too far from Bucktown.
No, that's like right around the corner,
Yeah, so I'm kind of familiar. So with Bucktown. But now before we get into the fun stuff, you know, I wanted to ask it earlier, but I wanted to let y'all, you know, get into the barber stuff, the barber things. But just the finance degree and, you know, with your LLC, like in spite of yourself, maybe, and I don't mean to offend you saying in spite of yourself, but going to school and getting the finance degree and doing everything what you're doing now, how has that helped you in your endeavors now?
The finance helped me keep my books, make me be able to move money in different positions. You know, like right now, I was just telling one of my brothers, I'm like, man, you know, what I've been doing, and I learned this from one of my old heads. He said, man, you should start putting your tips up. He said, just get you a duffel bag, throw it in the bag, don't look at it. Started doing it, and I'm like, damn, like, man, that's, you know, now I looked in the bag. I ain't gonna lie, I looked in the bag, and it's only been like a month. But just for, you know, just to go back to what you asked me, just to be able to move my money, you know what I'm saying, just to be able to keep up with just my finances. Like now I've been meal prepping. You know, some barbers, we have some horrible diets because we standing behind the chair so much. So I meal prep, so, you know, it cut me from buying food. You know what I mean? So it just helps me, you know, learn about things like LLCs or, you know, paying myself. You know, I can pay myself through the LLC. Go put it in my personal bank. Now I can pay it to my Social Security if anything happens to my hands. Things of that nature, you know what I mean? And then, you know, your business is a write-off as well.
Right.
So you can, you know, you file tax through the business and file tax through your personal, you know?
Right.
Just stuff like that.
No doubt.
That's why I asked the question, you know, because I mean, I was just thinking like, he didn't go, I mean, even though he's not, he never wanted to work, and he was all, I mean, when I say not wanting to work, not have a job per se, you know, you still picked a very good major when you went to college.
Oh yeah.
You know, at least you didn't go to liberal arts and sciences and reading 1,000-page novels.
Account, statistics, marketing, all that, you know.
Right.
That helped me out.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Did the HBCU experience kind of prepare you for getting out and not really wanting to go in corporate America, or was that just something that your environment, you know?
Yeah, it was the environment. Man, I went to school to play baseball, man. You know, just to keep it for real, man. I wanted to play baseball. You know what I'm saying? And the degree I got along the way.
And that's why I was, and just listening, Dajah, I'm like, I don't want to offend you when I say in spite of yourself.
Oh no offense, bro.
Right.
But the number one thing I learned from going away and being away for, you know, 5-6 years was the networking.
Right.
You know, the people I played ball with, you know, they still my closest homies, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like we down there, we survived together. You know, we all, we're just trying to stick together and make it through school. You know, man, let me get a pack of noodles, bro. I'm hungry. Cut my hair. Let me get a piece. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Right.
Yeah. So back to baseball. What do you feel like? I mean, I know the young brother that got drafted by the Cubs who went to Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
A lot of those Jackie Robinson kids that made the World Series are still playing that we really don't. So what do you think, and still being in Chicago, what do you feel like the game of baseball amongst blacks, what do you feel it needs to do to elevate to maybe the level of basketball? Because these major league salaries is just crazy,
It's
and
crazy,
all we
ridiculous,
trying to
right?
do is hoop,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that in baseball, it's harder to make it to the big show. And what I mean is you got to go to, you got to play in high school. You got to go to some people go to college. So if you get drafted out of high school, you get drafted out of college, you got low A ball, you got high A ball, you got double A, you got triple A, high triple, you know what I mean? Right. You got rookie ball. Like, it's so many different levels. But as of right now, when I was coming up, we didn't have all the opportunities that these kids have now. Right. With it being so cold in Chicago, now you can play. Now these kids, they playing indoor baseball. They got winter ball. They got different travel teams. The Chicago White Sox, they have a program. The Chicago Cubs got a program. So they taking these kids out of town. They seeing things and being put in different positions that college coaches can come and look. There's a lot of kids that's been going through the White Sox program. They go to Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, Louisville, like Michigan. Like, these kids, they getting out of here. They get good looks. So they have more guys that's coming back and giving them the game. They're giving them the information. So if you want to play ball, like, it's there for you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that, and that just intrigued me when you talked about the story, because I mean, I'm a huge sports guy and just like the Chicago scene when it comes to athletics and all that. So I just had to get those questions off, but
no problem.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, as we're starting to round it up, not going to keep you too much longer, but just hearing just being, interested, just like in your story, and hearing that you knew from the gate that you were not a corporate type guy. You knew, you like that autonomy and, take your breaks. What does barbering, when you think of barbering, what does it mean to you?
Barbering is bigger than the haircut. So you have, just from your experience, how many people have came in there and told you different things that they haven't even told their family members?
Absolutely. So many.
So you are therapy behind the chair. People come in there and tell you all different types of stuff, all different type of things that go on in their life. And not that I don't want to hurt nobody, no women's, feelings, but some guys come to the barber shop just get away from their wife. Like, they come from the camaraderie. They come from the laughter, so they might be in there playing chess or watching a game, or so being a barber is more than just the haircut. Like, it's actually the experience and the networking and the mentor is mentorship.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the barbershop, like back in the day, it was the source. You know what I mean? Like, you went in there, you had the elder guys in there. They had the wisdom. You went up in there, you could just sit in there and just pick up all type of game. You go into some barbershops, they have a topic of the day. They have it written on the board, and that's what they talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So for me, the last question that I have, and it's just something just to find out more about each individual barber I've been asking for the last 3 or 4 weeks. If you had one person from any era that you could cut just one time, who would it be and why?
It'd be Kobe.
Okay.
Kobe.
Okay.
Because I want to pick the brain of the Mamba, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to see where did you get this mentality from, man? Like, what make you go so hard? Like, maybe I can implement some of those characteristics into my business or my day-to-day life. You know what I mean? So I definitely would, He the GOAT to me, you know what I mean?
That's what's up.
I don't know if
That's
y'all,
what's up.
Jordan,
I
Jordan
love
be the
Kobe,
GOAT to y'all.
man. I love him, man. I love him.
But just that mentality,
yeah. I appreciated Kobe so much more at the end of his career, than I did at the beginning, because of the arrogance, and he reminded me so much of Mike. But when it started to end for him, I had a newfound respect for that dude, man. And so once he left us early, it really hurt, because I it was that time that you started to see another side of him, because he was no longer in that competitive mode, and you could see that drove him to be as good as he was. And once he retired, he could turn it off, and now he could feed that knowledge and give back, man. And yeah, we lost. That was a huge loss for everybody, man.
Definitely. I think at the end of the career, he got into more of the teaching aspect of the game. Because he had that Mamba Academy.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys during the offseason, they was learning as much as possible. And I think that's why it affected a lot of the younger guys, because, if you around that 40, maybe a little older, Mike was that guy.
Right.
So some of the younger hoopers that's 19, 20 years old, Kobe was the guy.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
we were able to shake hands with him and go to the academy. Shoot, why not? Yeah, I'm going.
Right.
So,
right.
We lose. The playoffs over. I bet I'm gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, Afro Kobe or low cut Kobe?
What is you said Afro Kobe? It'll be when he turned it to the Mamba. That was a different demon right there. He was a man.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Totally different demon.
Yeah. So when he was the Afro Kobe, he was trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That Mamba, he knew what it was, and everybody in the league knew what it was.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Well, for me, Jinx, I don't have any more questions. Do you?
No, man. Just give us your top 5 eat out spots in the city.
Oh man, number 1, Harold's.
Which one?
Okay.
Sometimes
87. Well, it ain't there no more.
Okay, so that's the one. Okay.
Yeah, it was 87.
Okay.
Next probably would be it's called Jerk Villa. That's a jerk restaurant.
Okay.
My next one probably would be Nikki's Gyros.
Okay.
Gyros, Giordano's Pizza.
Okay.
I was going to ask about pizza. So deep dish or thin crust?
We'll say it again.
Deep dish or thin crust?
Nah, thin crust. Nah, I ain't.
What? My wife is. Thin crust. Yeah.
And man, real talk, just a good old Chicago hot dog, man. No Polish stand. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Classic. Well, man, this has been one of my favorite interviews, bro.
Man, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. You dropped a lot of gems, man. Just personal, very personable, man. And man, I took, and our listeners will be able to take a lot from this, man. It means so much to me, man, for barbers and entrepreneurs just to come on here and just share their experience, because for us, it's about not only what we do as an art and a craft, but our ability to motivate and inspire others, no matter whether they're barbers or whatever. You spoke it, to be able to go to college, get a 4-year degree, and come home and still do it your own way. That's important for me. That's inspiring, man. We've had some tremendous guests on here. You fall right in line with that, man, and we appreciate it so much. You're willing to share your journey, man, be personal, personable, and just offer those gems, man, that not only we can use, but others, man. And greatly appreciate and respect that, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing too, because it is younger barbers that need to hear some of the experience, from some of the experiences or things that some of the older barbers have gone through along their journey. there's been a lot of times, we don't, we want to give up. You know what I mean?
Right,
Or
right,
you like,
right.
I just don't feel like doing this no more. You know what I mean?
Right,
and it may get them back on the right path to just go ahead and take care of business for themselves.
Right. And the interesting thing for me is me being older, because I'm 44, right? And I've been cutting for a long time. But in 2019, like I said, that experience, it just put a battery in my back. So I don't think you're ever too young or too old, because for me, I'd been wanting it to do it my way, but I have 6 children. So sometimes, you have to do what you have to do, right? And I was scared to just jump out there. And my wife kept telling me, just jump out there. And I was scared to death, because the system teaches you to rely on them and makes you think that you can't survive on your God-given talents and abilities, and so these are just those stories and those journeys, just to show everybody, older barber, younger barber, non-barber, that it can be done, man. That if you invest in your talents and believe and bet on yourself, that anything is possible, man.
One thing that I learned, it was from Eric Thomas. He said, it took me 10 years to get the 4-year degree. It took me this long to get this, but one thing it ain't gonna stay when I started. I went to barber school when I was 19 and finished when I was, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna list on there when I started or when I completed it.
Absolutely.
It ain't gonna list my age when it took me, he got this, but it took him this long to get it. It ain't gonna say that. I got it. You can't,
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So we greatly appreciate it. As we usually, my guy would say, telling I Cut My Way Out podcast, another episode with Dajah Echols, tremendous barber and just overall skilled entrepreneur, man, doing your thing. So always give a shout out to the Clipper companies, Andis, Oyster, Wall, Bevel, Caliber, just everybody who have put us in the position to be able to do what we do and cut our way out, man. So
yes, sir.
Greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. Salute to you, brothers, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Likewise.
Yes, sir.
Jinx, it's on you to take us out, man.
All right. I Cut My Way Out everywhere where you can listen to podcasts, most notably YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart. Again, I Cut My Way Out episode. We out of here. Until next time, peace.
Put some respect on my name.
Big and one day endorse where I live. Hard times, my mom had to do it all. Working 2 jobs to provide while I pursue the ball. Hoop dreams, no problem doing my own thing. Stepped in the world to get a win for the home team. Lace the sneakers for the crowd in the bleachers. This might get away from the lesson life teaches, but 5'9" don't follow the league guideline. Heart of a champ, but I gotta tuck my pride now. Off to college for the knowledge, try my hand at math. But one call from back home really changed my path. My firstborn, now I got a mouth to feed. Told the Southeast I got a whole new route to lead. Young father, odd jobs, every day is real. Turn to the streets to try to eat or maybe pay a bill. Not proud of it, but I got it cooking good. But prison time on the mind wasn't looking good. I can't afford the price, so I tried the corporate life. Something wasn't sitting right, every night I'm tossing light. They don't appreciate all my hard work, so I went ahead and jumped, let the Lord work. Beer culture 2020, yeah, we taking over. From the Clippers to the hoodies that be draping over. I put the Clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. Yeah, I put the Clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. Cut my way out. Tryna cut my way out.